Hello everyone and welcome. In this video I'll be sharing my thoughts on Fear the Walking Dead Season 6 Episode 14. As is the norm with all my reviews, I won't be holding back on any spoilers, so please do keep that in mind. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. The title of this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead is called Mother, and it features the return of an old Fear the Walking Dead character. So I know what you're all thinking, is this the episode in which Madison finally returns and it's finally confirmed that Madison is in fact alive? Well, simply put, the answer to that question is no. Madison doesn't return, and I'm sorry to disappoint those fans who are still holding out hope that our character will come back one day. It's not Madison who returns this episode. Instead, we get the return of Cole. Old Coley boy. Coley Oli Oli. The Coalmeister. The Culminator. Cole.
Who the hell is that?
Yeah, if I'm being honest, my initial reaction to seeing him echoed Teddy's reaction in that clip I just showed. I saw him and I was just like, who the hell is this guy? It didn't quite clock at first who he was, and I don't think you can blame me because this dude was only in the show for like 5 episodes and he was part of Madison's group at the stadium. He was never a big character, he was just someone that she rescued and he was just there, he was just an extra. So yeah, I didn't particularly care that he was back and I struggled to remember who he was. I mean, the only thing that I can really remember about his character is that he used to flirt with Strand, but I think that Strand wasn't interested. I don't know, I might be misremembering, but yeah, that's about all I can picture him actually doing on the show. So he was never an important character, and I don't think there are going to be anyone watching this episode. I don't think anyone's going to be watching it and is going to see Cole come back and go, yes, Cole is back, my favourite character, yes, I'm so glad they brought him back. I don't really think anyone cares. Not even the actor's family care. But Fear the Walking Dead is feeling generous this week because it's not only Cole who returns, we also get the return of 2 other characters, including this guy. Give it up for this guy. He was really good in that episode where he did that thing. I really liked that. I'm glad he's back. We also got the return of what's-her-name. Yeah, woo. Yeah, I liked what she did with the stuff that one time. That was really good. Yeah, really happy she's back. I wonder what role these amazing characters will play on Fear the Walking Dead now that they've returned. Oh, no, forget that, they're all dead. I just found it bizarre in bringing back 3 characters who even the most hardcore Fear the Walking Dead fan probably will struggle to remember, or, you know, they won't even care about. I don't understand why they did it. And even more bizarre was the fact that they came back and they were all antagonists who had no problem in killing Alicia. It just seemed really weird. I mean, can you imagine if in The Walking Dead they brought back a minor character from the first season, had them turn out to be a villain and then killed them shortly after? Good thing the main show would never do anything that stupid. In all seriousness, Cole's group got what they wanted from Alicia. They were able to scavenge Teddy's truck and get some supplies and get some fuel, and I don't know why he then felt the need to kill Alicia just because she didn't want to join him. I mean, it's not as if Alicia was going to go hunt him down and kill him because he stole some fuel from Teddy's truck. I mean, Alicia's got bigger problems to deal with, which she even tells him this episode. So I just found his motivations to be really weird. It didn't make any sense to me that he'd come back and would kill Alicia just because he didn't want to join, just because she didn't want to join him even. I don't get it. Anyway, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself because this all does come towards the latter half of the episode, so let's rewind for a moment and go back to the start of the episode. So things begin with Teddy in a cell, and it's a flashback which takes place just before the Walker outbreak, and to be honest, I liked everything about this flashback. Well, nearly everything. I didn't like the fact that he killed a Walker with a pen. I don't really think a pen would penetrate someone's skull. Certainly it wouldn't do enough damage to destroy someone's brain. And thinking about it, there have been quite a few examples on both The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead where characters have been killed with, or walkers, sorry, have been killed with blunt instruments. And yeah, I mean, that's another discussion altogether. But yeah, I don't know how he killed the Walker with the pen, especially seeing as this Walker had only just recently turned. Anyway, it was great to go back to see the start of the Walker outbreak, especially seeing as Fear the Walking Dead was a show which started in that place in season 1. It was just good to see walkers being scary again and eating people and seeing people's first reactions to walkers not knowing what they were, and I really liked that. And I also thought that Teddy was great in this scene, as he is throughout the entire episode. I mean, he's there on death row and another prisoner gets dragged out of their cell and they're going to be taken to have the lethal injection done, and then Teddy says to him, oh, don't worry, the end is just the beginning. And then when he comes back as a walker, Teddy sees that as vindication that he's right. And I think Teddy even says something like, oh, I knew I was right, but it just took a bit longer than I thought. So I like how Teddy sees the zombies and the walkers as vindication that he was right all along, that he wasn't crazy and that he somehow predicted it. I do like that aspect. We then move to the present and Teddy grabs Riley's dick. And it was just very bizarre. I mean, he doesn't do it without context. He doesn't just go up to him and grab his penis, but it's still weird. I mean, basically, Riley is threatening Alicia, and Teddy comes in and says, no, I want her alive. And then he reaches up behind him and grabs his balls and his dick, and he says, oh, I learnt a few things in prison. And yeah, that was just a really weird scene, just bizarre. So yeah, that was odd, but I felt like I had to mention it just because of how weird it was. I do find it weird that Riley is so kind of set on killing Alicia. I mean, I know she did burn their compound down, but this is a guy who let Morgan live after he killed like 4 or 5 of his men and stabbed him as well. So why does he want Alicia dead, yet he let Morgan go? And also, Riley seemed to be moving pretty well for a guy who was stabbed a couple of weeks ago, so yeah, there you go. Anyway, Teddy decides that he wants to take Alicia on a little road trip in order to open her eyes to the world or some bullshit like that. And before the pair can go, a truck of new recruits turns up, or a bus of new recruits turns up. And on the bus is, of course, the annoying brat Dakota, which then means Dakota tags along with these two for the rest of the episode. Hooray. I hate Dakota and I have criticised her character a lot lately, but after watching this episode, I don't think her character is going to get a redemption arc. I think I'm supposed to hate her. I see her as almost being the secondary antagonist now and going forward because, you know, she does a lot of shit in this episode that is meant to piss you off. So I don't think she's going to end up like Charlie, especially seeing as Teddy takes her under his wing this episode. I mean, at the end of the episode, she puts a gun to Alicia's head when Alicia is holding up Teddy, and yeah, that majorly pissed me off and just shows exactly what she's like. And she also majorly pissed me off when Teddy asked her about who she killed, and she said that, oh, I killed John. She first says that I didn't feel anything, which just shows she's a bit of a sociopath because she didn't feel guilty about it. And then she also goes on to say that he gave me no choice, which is just a fucking lie because John was asking her not to do it. So it's not like he didn't give her a choice. So I just see Dakota as this kind of sociopathic compulsive liar at this point. I don't believe a word she says. I certainly don't believe her when she said to Alicia that the reason she was on that bus and the reason she turned up at Teddy's compound was because she snuck out trying to look for Alicia. I don't believe that. I can't believe a word this woman says anymore, especially after what she said about John. So yeah, I really dislike her, but I think that's kind of the point at this moment in time. I don't know, I may be wrong. I mean, I have to admit, I did find it funny when Alicia tried to warn Teddy about Dakota because she said to him something like, oh, don't take this girl with us, she's dangerous, she tried to kill her own mother. At which point Teddy says, oh, a woman after my own heart, and immediately takes a liking to her. I mean, most people, if you told them that someone tried to kill their mum, that would be an immediate red flag, but for Teddy, he's just like, wow, she's like me, I like her. And I guess that's because crazy attracts crazy. And I mean, there is good reason for it. It does turn out that Teddy actually killed his own mother after she called him crazy or something like that. So, and I guess he did it in a fit of rage and he killed her. And it makes some of the rest of the episode that preceded this moment when he reveals that even more creepy. During the flashback scene at the start of the episode, he has a picture on one of his cell walls. And I assume that this was either going to be his wife or someone he loved and cared about, but he says it was his mother. And what's even weirder is that he has this picture of his mum on the wall, like he cares about her and that he loves her, yet he killed her. And it also makes his comment to Alicia even more bizarre when he said to Alicia, you remind me of my mother. I mean, it's odd that someone in her 20s can remind you of your own mother when, you know, this dude is like 70, but the fact, again, that he killed his mum just makes it even more creepier. Anyway, Teddy's car breaks down whilst he's on the road trip with Alicia and Dakota, at which point Cole appears, and that's how we come full circle to what I said at the start of this video. And I'm assuming that Cole must have broke the car on purpose, because when I first watched the video, it just looked like something went wrong with the car, but now that I know that Cole and his group were there waiting and that they did it so they could steal parts, I'm guessing he set something down on the floor and burst the tyres or something. I don't know. But anyway, Cole turns up and yeah, this is where we get to the point where they're holding our group hostage, and I have a couple of problems with this sequence. I mean, firstly, whilst I do appreciate the attitude that Alicia has when it comes to, you know, taking no shit at the moment, I did find it stupid when Cole said to her, "Oh, join us or die," and she said to him, "Oh, go to hell," because at this point in time she didn't have a plan B. She was only saved because some walkers happened to appear in the nick of time, as they so often do, and killed Cole and his team. So what was she going to do if they didn't appear? Just die? It was dumb. She only survived because of luck, and that really annoyed me. Also, I find it hard to believe that Cole's group, who had been surviving on the road since the stadium fell, would suddenly be killed by, some walkers sneaking up on them. I mean, they all had guns and they just die really pathetically. Like, they don't even put up a fight, yet Alicia, Dakota and Teddy are able to keep them at bay with, wrenches and makeshift melee weapons. I just thought that was a bit stupid. Despite these complaints, I did like the fact that come the end of the episode, Alicia killed Cole. It didn't annoy me like it did when Morales came back and died in The Walking Dead, because I had no attachment to Cole. I didn't care about him. I mean, he was a dick in this episode. His entire group were idiots and, were ripping people off, stealing from people, and who knows how many people they've stolen from or how many people they've killed because they didn't want to join them. So he got what he deserved, and I'm glad that Alicia killed him. Come the end of the episode, Teddy reveals that his master plan is to get those 2 keys and go back to that sort of washed up ship that we saw in 6A, which was washed up on the beach, and fire a missile and kind of reset the world and cleanse the earth. And it's probably not going to come to a shock to anyone, because there's been theories about this since we first saw that boat, and theories about what this group were going to do. So, I mean, everyone's predicted it by now, but I'm glad to see that Teddy has basically finally confirmed what his master plan is. What I didn't expect, however, was for Alicia to be locked up in a bunker, and she's now locked up in this underground bunker whilst Teddy puts his plan in motion. And I guess maybe she will be feeling a sense of deja vu because she's been locked in the bunker before in season 3. But yeah, I don't know what this now means for the future of Alicia, because I don't know how she's going to escape, or I don't know what she's going to do. Sorry about the change of camera angle. My camera just ran out of battery, and this is the only way it can reach the plug. So I'm quickly going to wrap up. Basically, what I was going to say is that I don't know what's going to happen to Alicia now, because if she's stuck in this bunker, does this just mean that she's going to be this damsel in distress and she's going to wait for someone to rescue her and we won't see her for the foreseeable future? Or will there be secrets to uncover in the bunker? Will we see her searching through it and trying to find things? I don't know. I mean, I'm not expecting to see her now for the foreseeable future. I think she's just going to be stuck in there and wait to be saved by Super Morgan, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Overall, despite this episode having a lot of things that I complained about, I thought it was quite a solid episode. I thought Teddy was great, and I said in my review of episode 11 that I didn't really care about this cult and I weren't on board with the idea of them as villains, and it didn't really appeal to me given how bad Fear the Walking Dead's previous villains were. But now I'm intrigued. Now it's piqued my interest. Now I want to see more of this group and I want to find out what happens. So I am looking forward to seeing more of this group and looking forward to see where this story goes, even if I do think that there's still a lot of mistakes in this show and there's still a lot of things that don't make sense. But for what it was an okay episode. It was fun. I liked it. It continued on from last week. I've enjoyed these last 2 episodes. And that's a big improvement for me, seeing as I didn't like any of 6B that came before that. So let me know your thoughts below. Do you agree with me? Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you all next time, hopefully with a charged up camera. Bye.